most people want to come to our podcast, but they don't even like. We're not reaction miracle. I didn't throw empama.
I wasn't happy in the relationship. When you're not happy, just leave, bruh. Like when you're not happy, just leave. No need. Move on, my sister. Move on, my brother. Like, go. You find your person out there. First things first. If pick it up is coming here once a week, and I'm not saying this is an excuse for us to put the stuff by the streets, right? But that's also another reason.
Oh, Kala! My name is Lalas Kolo, aka Mutoko Vandale Satsarin Koni. I get Sabi, I get Sing, I get Soli, Nayarata, Yarata, Yapili, Yapanda, Wanama. As always, I'm not alone. I'm with Lee,
my sunflower. Hello. Welcome to another episode of the Kasi Uncover. And today is not as per usual, and you can see the setting. It's just me and Lalas, not as per usual, because usually if you've been watching our episodes, you'd have noticed that we usually have a guest that we talk to, that we interview, if I can put it that way. But today is just me and you.
We are guests.
We are the guest and the host at the same time. And also, let me just say this, right? If you've been watching, you probably have noticed that we have all kinds of different people. And probably you're wondering, or you see someone around there and you're like, why aren't these people having this person, And if you feel like you feel that way, just feel free to comment down below and tell us, how about you guys have so and so, Who knows? Maybe we might be having the next person that you want.
President.
Everything.
As long as you start to balabalela ka views, mola usa view. Also balabalela ka views where now usa view. And you know what problem I have, Lee?
Yeah.
It's that most people want to come to our podcast, but they don't even like. They don't even view. They don't even share anything. But they wanna be here, so they wanna be part of the legacy that they don't want to be part of its creation.
And also, you're watching and you haven't subscribed, please do the right thing and tell a friend to tell their friends to subscribe. And while we're on that, I have a game for us before we go into, because there's a lot of things that Lalas here would want us to uncover, right? This is why we call the Kasi Uncover.
Uncover, definitely.
And...
But have you noticed my intro has changed a little bit?
Well, yeah.
I'm trying not to say, hey,
why? What's the reason for that? Let's start.
Hey man, actually, what is it that we are mandated for as Kasi Uncover and what we are pushing? I don't want somebody think we are promoting violence and all that.
But as much as this is Kasi Uncover, what are you saying as an individual also matters.
What
Your
say,
view, exactly.
I'm an activist, you know that, right? Yeah, so as an activist, you should act vist.
Well, I have a game. This is Never Have I Ever, but this is a dark edition of it, like the Kasi dark edition of it. Not too much. Relax.
Okay.
The first one is, never have I ever helped to push a taxi hours in.
Never
have I ever helped to push a taxi hours in. Maybe not necessarily help push, but maybe something happened with the taxi that you were in, pusher. Like, I think pushing is part of it.
I think I've done that.
Or something like that.
My story in the taxi is different. That taxi house that my house.
Yeah.
So nerina miji taxi ngwe ya ko Alex taxi ona ngaretsa maka mouth. Like I don't know how long it took to get there. So are you fitla ko site ya go meet.
Yeah.
Hayibo ke nako la COVID re fakile di mask nna ke fakile di class ke re wa tsore ke rato ba utsana o tshwana le so ke fakile di class ke a bona re marona le mushi ka mo taxi mara batho ba khomotse so ke re ke butsa basadi ba bangwe ba mo ke re ke nna ke matlho a ka ke di class or hona le mushi ka mo taxi ne basadi ba le into
yeah. And then what happened?
ke re le na le go motse motho a ko tsore bolaya ka mo le go mo le ring to marane boleng abo re driver o bone re taxi e tswa mushina o right wa age o no re fetše re toetša ya ema taxi ela muši o la thomo ba e ratšwa lebati le lokile mare la ba la bulega la ge la bulega a tšwa re bulela ra tšwa taxi ela sinsista ile ya ba ya tla ya tšewa
And then
ya
like
thomoswa
to Alex.
ba re biletša ye nngwe.
So here's my story, right?
Mm.
This one time I'm in a taxi to not Wake, right? So how I think if you've ever been in taxi and not Wake, or mostly. You know?
Yeah.
So this one time how I'm in a taxi, it's this other guy, but early like it wasn't because there was something wrong with taxi. So usually there's traffic that side from between Blue Hills and North Wake. There's like big make traffic in the morning. So usually what the taxi drivers does, they drive on the oncoming.
Okay.
So like it's a thing, barely if you travel that side.
Yeah.
So how the taxi driver ki ole wire, it wasn't his day, and then there was this national traffic, what. Yeah, and then he had to come around. Hey Fitla. Obviously you have to like pull up and pull on the side and stop there, and then we stopped. And the officer came, right? And then he's like, give me your license. The guy had a license. I don't drive a license. He's like, I don't have a license. And then what the officer did and Taskio as lahlela go hlating.
Lenala miracle.
As lahlela go hlating. And you know what happened, right? So has lahle chikwale, and then I can go koloing avai yabo. So now I was seated in front in the middle. So I was wearing this other long skate, like long skate. If you know me, you know I love long skates. So I was wearing a long skate, and driver follower, like some of the passengers, so the driver is asking me how why we're and I'm like, oh, and then how these other ladies at the back, they're like, and I'm not talking about the clothes, I'm talking because the skirt is long, and if exactly you understand, if maybe they kept a jean, I would understand, or maybe a short skirt or something like that. How but and then even those ladies never follow the robots, they're like, and I just looked at them and I laughed. I'm like, sana.
Babit.
Sure. But yeah, another one is never have I ever been a part of a mob that killed a person. I have not.
Two questions.
Hey, have you ever?
We're not to ragisha miracle.
No, I have not, shame. I've never been a part of a mob. Every time when I see those things, I run for my life. Never have I ever been a part of a mob that killed a person.
Yeah, I was there. I'm the one that they killed.
Hey, Lalas, don't play with us. What happened?
Like there was a big mob at my village. I was still a school kid, and the guy that was killed was my former classmate. But he did a lot of people bad, even myself, So now they've committed, I think, about 7 or 8 crimes in a night. Yeah, in one night.
And then about
yeah, so they were just, they were running away, but I was not part. Not, I was just there.
You were there, not part of.
But I didn't throw empama. I was a bystander. I was a bystander, just watching, and I think that's when I learned to don't do bad in there.
Do you think that probably the mob justice that people do in our communities, they in a way resolve these crimes? Because I think a lot of people would say the justice in our country has failed them. Do you think it works?
In fact, a lot of things were done by that gang. Honestly speaking, if things didn't happen that way, I feel like some of us wouldn't even be here.
Ne?
Yeah, a lot of people have been victim of that gang, and it had to be somehow,
Yeah.
And but I wouldn't say that I would encourage mob justice, because you look at how many people are falsely accused of crimes and end up in jail. So imagine if you are falsely accused of crime and you get killed. There's no coming back. There's no we found out the truth. Or as much as we wish bad things could happen to bad people, and I don't believe much in second chances, because most of the time when we say we give second chances, we end up giving more than second. But I'm just saying, when our fate is not the same. If you were killed by mob justice, it's okay if you've done something wrong.
But if you've not, because
If you haven't,
I think we've had this conversation yesterday to say there are people that were killed by the mob justice, whereas
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or maybe you get killed by mob justice, but your crime was just, of a low degree. You could have changed at some point. Yeah, but if you were a serial killer, you are an animal.
A crime ke crime, but no crime no crime bjang. But another one is, never have I ever tried or seen hard drugs. I've never seen drugs. I've never tried. Like, no.
It depends in which way you are saying it. Anyway,
Like closely. Like
there's no
closely.
kind of drug I haven't seen. Heroin, I've seen it. Crack, I've seen it. Cocaine, I've seen it.
The crystal
Marijuana, crystal.
Marijuana, like I
Yeah.
think, okay, if we counting that, then I have seen.
You have seen it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
a drug as well. It's just that when something is being popular, and because the Jamaicans don't really use it as a substance, but for medicational purpose and whatsoever. Even some of these drugs actually are legal in some places. These hospitals use some of these drugs.
No, but we're not talking about those
Yeah,
medical ones.
but if
we're
you
talking about the one that people,
the ones that ended up being illegal because of the abuse of the substance. When you talk about your heroin, your cocaine, I've seen them all because I attended a lot of workshops where they had to show us examples
and
with
then they would
those.
show you guys.
And also, I used to get an Bram. I used to pass these guys back inject but I wouldn't tell you inject the guy. When it's in injection, usually I don't know what is it, but I can see them.
Another one is interesting. Never have I ever dated two people at the same time from the same class.
Obvious.
Have I?
Obvious.
I have.
It's obvious.
And to find out that these people knew each other.
Yeah, most of the time.
Yeah, what happened? Tell us the story. How did it end? How did the other one knew what happened?
Everywhere I've been, I dated people
at the same time.
Yeah.
At the same class.
Yeah.
And they all knew.
No, just when one find out, it becomes a problem.
Do we want the story? What happened?
There are many stories.
The one that's interesting. Obviously, we don't want all of them.
They all interesting.
the one that is like the interesting one.
Nah, man. Stay everywhere, man. I don't. Let's just say most of the time, if I date one person and I don't date another one, I become a victim of that relationship. So
maybe we are the problem.
No, I become the victim because she cheats. So
So you want to cheat first?
Yes. I don't want to be cheated.
The last one is
when I'm both we rala. Stories are how so they tell about way too. Yeah, but kuma.
Lalas. But you know what happened, right? So I dated the first one, and we're dating. How? And then obviously I wasn't happy in the relationship,
How? And what is it that didn't make you happy?
I think when you are with someone and they are not your person, man, like you can tell, but that's just like a hard pill to swallow. Sometimes when it's time for you to just leave, you can see, but then I don't know, because we are human beings and sometimes it's so hard to move on. I think I could have avoided that by just moving on with my life and leave the relationship, but I was like, I'm not leaving. And then I dated someone else, and then this one time I'm going to see let's say boy number 2, because there's boy number 1. So I'm going to see boy number 2. How? As I'm on my way there, and they are busy conversing like it's just normal, And I'm like, that's where I ended the relationship with both of them. I didn't know what to do. I was
that moment,
yeah, I was
you
like,
went to them.
No. I didn't go to them. I just saw them and I'm like, they're busy, they're talking. Like it was awkward for me. It was awkward for me. So when I got there, I'm talking to boy number two because I get I'm there for boy number two. And then boy number one just acted normal and then he passed. I just knew that relationship is over and I had to end this one as well. Because after that, boy number two found out that I was with boy number one.
I remember.
So it was just something else.
It reminds me of this girl I was dating.
Mm-hmm.
Then she cheated me with the other guy.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew about the other guy.
Mm-hmm.
The other guy knew about me, my name. He didn't know who I am.
Oh.
But I knew him.
Uh-huh.
So every time he passed, the other day, we happened to be at the same place. But he doesn't know it's me.
Uh-huh.
I just called him aside. I said, hey, mate, I'm going to something you will tell. I was like, sharp. Alright, look at introduce Lalas. Yo, that guy I think sure,
he doesn't know what you have in mind.
I just said I know.
And then what did he say?
No, he had to end the relationship with the girl.
I think another thing, probably this is like a lot of our mistakes, right? A lot of our mistake that we do is when you're not happy, just leave, bro. Like when you're not happy, just leave. And sometimes you see this person is not into you as much as you into them, and you try to force things, and there's no need. Move on, my sister. Move on, my brother. Like go, you find your person out there. Sometimes you're with someone and you can see that this is not your person, but you just try to make it work so hard because maybe you just want the relationship to work so hard. Move on, my sister. You will find someone phambili.
If you don't love me, somebody will.
Dango. And here's the last one.
Yeah.
Never have I ever threw a bag of rubbish by the street. I have, and I'm gonna tell you why, right? So the barking, there's a truck that comes again once
pick
a week.
it up.
Hey.
They didn't want to pick it up.
So there's the truck that comes like it, and it comes once a week, right? And it comes, I think it's on Tuesdays. Yeah, and it comes once a week, right? And mind you, the yard has only one dustbin. I'm telling you, by it comes on Tuesday, ne? Tuesday, obviously, we wash the dustbin, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. By Saturday, that thing is full.
Month end, it's like 2 hours.
And like that truck only passes once, bruh. First things first, you know that this area is overcrowded. Yeah. It's supposed to pass here twice, maybe 3 times if possible, And then when they see the rubbish by the streets, it's like, we don't love ourselves or something. Where are we supposed to put the rubbish?
Yeah.
Where are we supposed to put the rubbish? And that's like my defense in this.
One day get those and I go pick it up, go to office, it's very plastic.
Yeah. And like, oh, interesting. I just remembered there's a video that I watched, right? The video, it was this actor who was saying that, have you ever seen amakasi buthanjani, amakasi angcolile, abantu emakasi abazithandi? First things first, if pick it up is coming here once a week, and I'm not saying this is an excuse for us to put the stuff by the streets, right? But that's also another reason, because people are men in the yard, people are eating on a daily. Where are they supposed to throw their rubbish?
Exactly.
You understand? That's why we get dumping sites on the streets where people walk. And also, let's not forget that we are actually here crammed, the million of us, because this is a concentrated camp. Like,
yeah.
Okay.
And your experience is exactly the same as mine.
You see,
last when they were striking, I guess they didn't come for like 2 weeks.
Imagine,
yeah.
And then tomorrow it's gonna be a thing of no, they don't love themselves. This, that, and then we are treated as these illiterate people who don't love themselves, who can't think for themselves. Bro, do you even think that people here are even worried about the rubbish that is on the road.
We have serious issues.
We've got serious issues than those ones.
We have serious issues
But
like us.
exactly, but either way,
But we're not promoting littering.
we're not
Either way,
promoting littering.
some of us kerna batho ba le ba ba le consciousness ge o tshwere letlaka la panana o tshwara bothata ore o latlhe because wa tseba gore sa lela o tripa kae kae.
But here's the thing, when you pass through where there's the dumping site or by the street, you
don't just because man, but I think the structure sakas in this on as a street vendoring say promote in some kind of ways. True. I just wish or the street vendors were governing the environment around them. I got they are running a business, so you make sure that more in business how your customers are more now a certain image to your business.
But they do clean those guys in the morning when you pass. When they arrive, they do clean. Obviously they're gonna clean where they sell. They're not gonna clean the whole street.
But clean mobile chela media allow the custom.
But clean, well, I don't know about that, but they do clean. But then after work, then that's a problem because they just dump things there. Yeah. And we're not saying this is the reason for littering. I think in everything, like our I think my point, let me not say our because I don't know what you have in mind. I think my main point is we shouldn't just mention the stuff that we're seeing here and overlook the rest of the rest issues, of the things, the issues that are happening on the background. Definitely. All we see is the dumping sites on the streets of Kasi. We forget that Pick It Up comes here once a week. Why are we not looking at that? Like what can we do so that it comes maybe twice, 3 times a week so that we avoid these things?
That could be
yes,
much
but that doesn't also excuse the fact that there are people who just loiter stuff around that we need to deal with again.
Even those babsatla mabotlelo kra motho le kana le nna a pshatla le botlelo mo straat.
Imagine or
I think ngwana wa lahata instead or re gale ngwana le pshatla if wena le pshatla o moholo o gala ke ma.
Imagine.
Because the batting but for Rafiditson or a driver, I used to when I was young, I used to think about ba le dikoloi ba ke tlhompha ba ithata ba na le molao aba shuti chelete. I just had a lot of stereotypes around people who drive. You would find the worst people who drive. Motho antse le botlelo ka koloi ka letsogo pshata ko strateng.
Imagine.
Koloi ya motho mongwe ya tla tlo gata, ngwana motho mongwe wa tla tlo gata. Le ana like
but also, Lalas, you have some stuff that you wanted us to discuss.
There's a lot, and I know I've been asking myself, this morning. Actually, I think I started thinking about this yesterday. I was thinking that I've been worried ever since Barry, who issued the ministers have been appointed, and I'm asking myself, okay, Magita. We've been failing for years now. How many years do we have in democracy? 30.
33 decades.
So now and we're still failing. And when you look at the ministers they've put, Banka Mutua and yesterday, last night, Kiabona mo Facebook, ho trenda Gaten, McKenzie, and Rosie. And when I check what they're talking about, someone was saying the person who posted the capturing was like, that's Gayton McKenzie putting Ndlozi at his place, or what a comeback. Then go commenting about what was the comeback there. Actually Ndlozi fried Gayton. But if the politics in such a way that Mama Uhono Fryer, Mamang Uhono Dira, what, it's not helping us people down here. So now I'm thinking about the NGOs. I'm like, I feel like the people with more potential to change things in the world are in these NGOs bahola the stipend it's about 3.5 4,000 while people in the parliament they eating hundreds of thousands and millions and all they do is to say I'm better than you, my organization is better than yours, you are not talking nothing, I talk. There's this minister who just stood up and spoke in Afrikaans. Who's that? the minister. I don't even care who's what now because they've never worked for us, all these people.
Yeah, yeah.
And now I'm saying, but then again, do you think these NPOs, they have potential people, and potential people most of the times are not even the implementers, are not even the supervisors, but are the people on the ground doing the work. So I'm saying these organizations, they deal with HIV, they deal with teenage pregnancy, drugs, the ones that deals with street kids, the ones that deals with abandoned kids or neglected kids. They just so many of them. Ne? The ones that deals with LGBTQ issues, the ones that prevents violence. Why are they many in these cases? But it's like the more they are more, the more problems we have as well.
Yeah.
But surprisingly, you can identify the people who do good work, but they do good work on I don't know which of what quantity, because the problems keep escalating. Or do they escalate because Lalas batting but as solver? Or do they escalate because they had forgotten about drugs or not drugs or what makes them more these problems to be more while we have so much of this organization? Do you see an importance of them?
I think, like you said, right, there are those organizations that they do have an impact, a positive impact in our communities, right? I mean, we have people that are doing like very well in terms of helping. I think maybe I'm just thinking of the soup kitchens that they do help with the food, but most of them is just the Monday to Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they are not there, you know. They do help. I mean, we do have those but here's the thing, here's the thing also, like with the ones that are into like the drugs and substance abuse and stuff like that, as you're saying, Hore, maybe people, they do forget about it, and now these people come and be like, by the way, you shouldn't be using drugs, you shouldn't be doing this and that, but people have, maybe they're not even there, but because there's that curiosity that has been built up within us. Because also, here's the thing, these people who study substance abuse and what, they mainly go to schools. Firstly, we have, let me just say, Bonyopes,
They're not at school.
they're not at school, they're in on these streets. Why don't they go to the streets? Why don't they go to the streets and help them from the streets?
Why you make an awareness to somebody who doesn't know while somebody is a victim or is victimizing? Actually,
exactly,
I'm very, very against this thing. Writing. This person is the victim of substance abuse. How are you a victim while you are the abuser of the substance? The substance is the victim. The substance is the victim. You are the perpetrator.
The substance can't talk for itself, but you can. Like I believe.
Exactly. Now, when how or for example, ka nna ka gore tla re kotsi a bjang.
Yeah.
Hanga robala le stop. Who's the victim?
You.
Okay.
You.
I'm asking, who's the victim?
Stop.
Exactly. The right, you said it can't speak for itself. Stop.
Why we are go stop?
Why we are go drag?
But also, let's go back to the point that why aren't they going to like all these people that they see? I mean, people who are alcohol abusers, they are going to have I remember in my high school, right? Our principal wouldn't allow those. You remember those? There are those nurses that come and do the sex, king sex talk. They teach you about the preventions, the condoms.
They even teach you how to use condom.
And then what is this? And with our principal, he never allowed. He would tell them that my school, my learners, they're abstaining. I don't have a learner who's active here. So if you guys are coming to teach them about condoms, about prevention, all of these things, what are you instilling into them? Because also, I think they do have an impact in terms of maybe your teenage pregnancies, because I feel like they come and then they create this curiosity around these kids, and now a child wants to see her. there's a needle. I can just go and while I
Yeah,
explore, and
yeah,
also remember the talks that these kids have amongst
yeah.
themselves also before we even go to the school.
And they're not gonna practice well just because you taught them how to use condom. You're not going to be there to monitor if they're using it right.
True.
They're gonna
Which is
use
a
it.
good thing though. Which is a good the fact that they are being taught with the fact that we are being taught, well, there's protection, there's this. There are people who need that talk more than the kids at school. What are you teaching? Oh my goodness, I remember when I was in grade 2, I was in this other school in, I think it was Davidson. I was staying in Davidson with my mother. And then I had went after school. I went to the salon. Go lologa meriri wabo. So
Mm.
ne ke loga ka meriri, like
Yeah,
natural,
yeah,
no
yeah,
hairpiece,
yeah.
nothing. So ne ke lorile
Free
meriri,
hand.
free hand, thank you. So I went to do my hair, and then usually my mom would check my bag, right? So
Mm.
that day she didn't, because I passed by the salon before I went home. So when I got home, I had chill vibes. My mother doesn't check. Probably I didn't even have homework that day because like nobody checked my bag, right?
Mm.
So in the morning we are going to school. As we going to school, my mother, like, she's giving me chillet there,
Mm.
when she opens the bag, condoms. And remember that we were given these condoms at school, and obviously you are a child, you're in grade 2. What
Mm.
do you know about condoms? What do you
Utabethu.
like? You, it's a balloon to
Mm.
you.
Mm.
Like you, like, it
Mm.
was so painful. And then same, like, I think my mother was going to work. She just went straight to school. What are you teaching my child? Like, what
Mm.
is this? So I feel like when the schools do those things, they need to also involve the
The
parents
parents,
as well.
yeah.
Because when we got there, we found other parents as well complaining about the same thing. What are you teaching a
Yo.
grade 2 learner about condoms? What do you want them to do with them?
Exactly. So
Yeah.
I would say part of it might be working, part of it may not be working. Because
True.
maybe they would say we are teaching the school kids with alcohol so that they know that bale baleng ko taverning, maybe already because they are addicted. We can't deal with them, but we are preventing because ba re thibela malwetse phala ka lafo ba bangwe ba re le ko bja le sale le le nanana maybe. But I feel like ka taba ya sex talk or whatsoever, I feel like somewhere somehow they are pushing it too much and they have to limit. Even the ones that deals with LGBTQ, they should be careful that they're not instilling this thing or enforcing it into kids. Let it be. Don't force kids to start questioning their gender. If they see there's something wrong, they will see there's something different. Or not even, why do I say wrong? Because it could be wrong to me and right to somebody. If they see they are different in some kind of way. Ngwana we lo goreng o homosexual. Some of them we saw them come grade 3.
Grade 1 wa
Eh,
monor,
o
like,
kitimišana le ba banyana mara ke mošimane o nyako raloka le bona fela a nyako go le ga bolela o thomo ke petha seropi, so you don't even question, you see what they are. But don't say gole a senang bothata of gore what if you are a re beng le limit on each and everything. Le yona sex talk, don't go far, se ka feletša le re destroyela bana ko
true. And then
dikolong. Let's just
liba instill the barking the curiosity into their mind. But also, I mean, you could be watching this and you probably are
having your
involved
own.
in these awareness things. Maybe you have an NGO that does all these things that we're talking about here, and you feel like maybe you know more than we do,
We do,
and maybe
yeah.
you're seeing it from the perspective of an implementer and why you started it, and maybe
Yeah.
there's more that you saw for you to start it. You are more than welcome to
To
come
come
here
and share.
and share and tell us what you do, and give us an overview of the impact that it has done. What have you fixed since that started? Because as we are standing right here, we are saying we see more people who are like, we see drugs addicts more than people who are sober, and whereas we are seeing all these working organizations that
They
are
are
saying
all,
they are
yeah,
resolving
these
these things. So what are you guys doing? We are seeing teenage pregnancy. I think, okay, you'll be like, what is happening? But yet we have these organizations that are claiming to be
to be
resolving this. So
resolving
if
the
you're one of
issue.
those who knows better than we do, or you think you know better than we do, you're more than welcome to teach us, educate us.
Exactly. So the production side showed us that we're running out of time. However, we would like to talk more about the drugs one day. I want us to go deep into this drug one.
Gender, I think also.
Yes,
Of
would just
essence.
impact them one.
Yeah,
Because I
true,
feel like
true.
all at once we
Yeah.
may not reach that far,
And
but there's a lot.
I think it's even better when we unpack drugs thingy. We have someone who knows better than we do, so they can tell us their
I
perspective.
guess.
But with that being said, this is the Kasian cover. We are the Kasian cover on all social media platforms. This is Lalas Kulu on all social media platforms. I am Lee, my sunflower, on all social media platforms, and we have Slew Josie Entertainment on all social media platforms. But we're gonna plug everything right there on the description. Please like, comment, subscribe, and above all, share with a friend of a friend and
If you
a
don't
friend.
subscribe, you're not cute.